Now, in the midst of the waves of protests over healthcare and immigration crashing down on Republicans' heads, who, were going to hold town halls last week, some Republicans have been too scared to hold their own town halls and instead opted to meet with their real constituents, their donors. Now, the Intercept and the Center for Media and Democracy had recently obtained fundraiser invitations for a number of GOP lawmakers who rejected calls to meet with their voters. Now, let me kind of explain here why they're holding these town halls. Now, the President's Day congressional recess is basically a period with no official work, as if they work already when they're there, and is basically designed for reconnecting with some of the people back in their home districts. That's the whole point. But of course, after seeing some rather raucous crowds in other events, some 200 GOP lawmakers have opted to skip them instead because, hey, who gives a shit about the voters, right? No, who cares about those guys, right? They're not the ones who put them in office. It's the wealthy donors.
Yeah, I don't know what's necessary with all these town halls. What do they think this is, like a democracy or something?
No, it's constitutional
Crazy.
republic. There's that guy who's going to be in the.
Wait, what?
It's a constitutional republic, right? Yes,
right,
we know that.
Yeah, it is, but we give it lip service enough.
Right.
But yeah, there's always that person.
Yeah.
And they issue that article every time something happens in politics as if it's something new and excitable. They're like, the USA isn't an actual democracy. And it's like, I think enough of us have dictionaries at this point. We know that. But they're always like some outlet does a quick clickbait grab. And there's always going to be somebody where that information is groundbreaking. So.
Of course.
We should do that video once a year here and just see what happens.
Or it's just a comment.
Once a year, it'll be like, Ron and Jeff discover the USA.
I know, right?
And we'll pretend it's the first time. We'll be like, I feel like I'm having deja vu, but it must be something else.
BuzzFeed. It'll be on Twitchy later on.
It will.
TYT morons figure out America's constitutional republic.
Yeah. They've been doing this video once a year, and they just forget probably all the pot that liberals smoke.
Yeah, which they secretly would love to do some pot.
They would love to do.
They would probably.
And they would say it that way, too. They would say those exact words. They'd be like, man, we'd love to do some pot, but it's illegal where we live.
We can't do it. Yeah.
It's illegal.
Don't inject the marijuanas.
Don't inject the marijuana. I saw Reefer Madness. You know what happens.
Can't do it. Anyway, we're off on a tangent here. Now, let me explain or go through the list of some of these Republicans that are skipping their town halls. Now, one of them is unsurprisingly, Speaker Paul Ryan. Now, his constituents in Wisconsin asked him for a town hall meeting during this whole recess. Because that's what this recess is supposed to be. We give you a week off work where you're not doing anything to go and do these town halls and meet with your constituents. But turns out the guy wasn't there. He didn't show up. Now, where was he? Well, he was at a fancy meeting with his donors. Ryan began the recess with a winter pack retreat at the Ritz-Carlton Key Biscayne in Miami. It sounds super, super fancy, doesn't it? This is an event that welcomed donors who have given a minimum contribution of $10,000 to the Team Ryan Joint Fundraising Committee.
So really a middle-class event,
Sure.
For the working people.
Yeah. Now, of course, that's Paul Ryan's special PAC. You know how much it can raise? As much as $244,200 per person. That's how much his PAC can raise.
Wow. Who would... okay.
We're not saying that
I'm just going to let that sink
that
in.
much. They can under the current FEC law. But no, money in politics, not an issue. Our system is completely not broken. That's not all. Since this event in Miami, Speaker Ryan went and decided to tour Texas and liberal California, hosting events for the PAC in Corpus Christi, Fort Worth, Houston, and Menlo Park. So he's doing this grand money grab tour to try and get money from the donors. Now, he's not the only one who's choosing to meet with their donors instead of the people. You also have Senator John Barrasso. Now, during his break, Barrasso went on a ski resort fundraiser held on Friday and Saturday in Jackson Hole. The asking price for donors is $5,000 per political action committee or $1,500 per individual. So,
Yeah, well, that makes sense, man. Jackson Hole is like the most, I forget the exact statistic, but it has like the most amount of like rich people per square foot. Like it's one of the most expensive places in the country. And it's breathtakingly beautiful. I actually had a friend that got married there. That's my only experience in Jackson Hole. But I mean, that's where like Dick Cheney lives, and Harrison Ford, and the Walmart people.
oh,
So in
the
many
Walmart
ways, it's
people.
like a real life Indiana Jones movie. You know, Indiana Jones surrounded by a bunch of bad guys.
Now, also, you have another senator, Senator John Boozman. Now, Boozman canceled his town hall scheduled for last Friday, and that he said, "Don't worry, I'm going to hold a town hall on Monday, but it's going to be over the phone and only for people who signed up ahead of time."
Yeah,
And if you
and the
want to
answering
see
machine's going to
Boozman,
be turned off.
right? And if you want to see Boozman in person, you can pay $500.
What a deal!
What a super deal!
I saw the Rolling Stones for less money than that, Boozman. Who do you
Yeah.
think wants to pay that kind of money to see you?
Exactly. It's not like it's going to be entertaining at all.
No, definitely not.
But not only that, he also attended 2 different fundraisers in Palm Beach. The Florida event invitation shows attendees were asked to pay $1,000 per ticket. Huh. Now, you also had hypocritical Colorado Senator Cory Gardner. Now, Gardner, the reason I'm calling him a hypocrite is that he won office in 2010 by talking about the town halls where people were pissed off at, Democrats. So these were like the Tea Party protests, I think, or related to the Tea Party protests. A lot of people were paid to be very, very angry at Obama.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes, and let's keep in mind those were the paid protesters.
Exactly.
The Tea Party was a Koch-funded wet dream of theirs. That's what the Tea Party was.
Exactly. So, he supposedly got into office thanks to all that protest. Now, he was supposed to have a town hall as well, but he's like, nope. But he did find time to schedule a $1,000 per person fundraiser at Aqua L, a pricey Italian eatery on Capitol Hill. I probably didn't say it right. So, because
Spell it, Jeff. I can help you.
ACQUAAL.
Yeah, like Aqua L. Yeah, you
Okay.
got it.
Hey,
Yeah.
I did say it right. Usually I
Yeah.
murder
Very
names.
good.
So,
No, that seems right to me.
okay. Now, you also have Senator John Thune of South Dakota and John Cornyn of Texas. Now, they held town halls before, but they decided not to do it this year. Instead, Cornyn is hosting a $500 per person fundraiser, while Thune is offering individuals who pay $1,000 or more for a chance to watch the Washington Wizards versus the Golden State Warriors basketball game with him on Tuesday. Well, what a deal. Let's
At
go
least you
and
get to
watch,
see a basketball
Let's go
game.
watch basketball with John Thune.
Is he like a connoisseur or something? I don't even know. Is he going to give me some good insight, like about basketball? Like, is he going to be like, so
No idea.
that was some good strategy? Or is he just like a dude watching basketball? In which case, why can I just sit by myself and watch the game?
You could, but then you wouldn't pay $1,000 to his reelection campaign.
Yeah, tickets are probably way more like cheaper than that,
right.
at least.
No, what's going on here is that these people, yes, they want the money, but they're also super scared of their constituents. They don't care about them at all. They care about the money, and they don't want to face their voters face to face. And unfortunately, they serve the donors and the corporations. So they don't serve you. They don't give a shit about your problems. In fact, there's a study back in 2015, and it found that members of Congress are 231% more likely to hold meetings with individuals who have given them money. And the more you give, the more they listen. That's what's going on here. Not only do they not want to face up to their constituents, they want to suck up all the money.
Jeff, since we're on this topic, though, I feel like it's important we give a shout out to Marco Rubio, because that guy was doing the same thing. He was dodging his town halls, and he recently claimed he was out of the country, and he wasn't. and
Oops.
somebody caught him and started filming him, and he followed Marco Rubio. He followed him down an escalator, said, "Hey, why aren't you doing a town hall?" Marco Rubio was trying to downplay it, trying to ignore the guy. His people were keeping the guy at a distance, but the guy kept filming, and Marco Rubio eventually said, "Oh, in town halls, people are rude." Marco Rubio, which first of all, Marco Rubio should be so appreciative of anybody that sees him in the state of Florida and doesn't just start laughing in his face as soon as he walks by. He is maybe the most pathetic person in the GOP establishment, and that's saying an awful lot. That guy got intellectually bitch slapped by Chris Christie, which getting intellectually bitch slapped by Chris Christie, that's like losing in dodgeball to a 4-year-old. And then later, he got mopped in his own home state by Donald Trump. Donald Trump annihilated him in his own state. It was like a single-digit showing, I'm pretty sure. The fact that he can even go out in public is groundbreaking, let alone he's still this condescending, arrogant douche that won't even own the fact that he's too cowardly to go to a town hall he's supposed to go to, he should be going to, and he has to lie and say he's out of the country. And then he's still a smug douchebag about it when he's caught on camera. Wow. He's so pathetic. He is more pathetic than watching Tom Perez try to answer a direct question.
Oh.
That's how sad he is.
Oh, if you haven't seen that video, that's awesome.
Oh, it's beautiful. I've watched it multiple times.
That's the bravery of our new DNC chair.
The analogy I like to make, Jeff. It's the DNC. If the DNC was organizing a football team, they would put the backup kicker in at quarterback and would say it doesn't matter who's playing quarterback as long as you guys cheer loudly. That would be their strategy to win football games.
But back to Marco Rubio for a second. This guy's the guy who's like, I don't actually like doing my job. Oh, yeah, really?
He said, he was like, people are rude at town halls. I mean, you can watch these videos. Like we watched a couple of them on the Jimmy Dore show, and then I saw something else as well. But that's what he said. Like that's what he said, and he lied. He lied about being out of the country. He was just hanging out in Florida.
Yeah,
hanging out in Florida, going why. Oh, how is that guy still around? How is that guy not? If that guy had any humility, he would have been like, after the primary, he would have been like, I'm meant to do something else. And he would have gone and, I don't know, tried to have gotten a radio show or something. I don't know what he would have done.
All he knows how to do, though, Ron, is to go and get on his knees for the donors. Yeah. And that's what it's all about. I mean, that's really the prerequisite for anybody in office at this point, is to get down on your knees for the donors. Take that sweet, sweet donor cash. And that's what we're talking about here. And that's what's wrong with our politics today. Hey, everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.